Hey everybody, welcome back. It is now episode 12 of the TOS Enterprise Bridge, and I know it's been a couple of weeks, and let me apologize. I know you guys see me put up other videos and then I was sick, but yes, I'm on the bridge. So what I did for this episode is started playing with the fiber optics for the rest of the main viewer station. Also got the main viewer together. Got everything's in. You saw from the picture, and then started painting the consoles on each station, and you'll see that because I've done that a couple of times, but this time I figured out the better way I'm doing it. And then I started going into trying to figure how I'm going to do the light boxes for the stations, and you guys you'll see it in the video. So but yeah, not bad. I'm really happy because the main viewers together and everything's working for now. Keep my fingers crossed. Still got some cleanup to do and touch-ups, but hey, getting a little bit further. So please enjoy. So with that, if you are new to my channel, please click on the subscribe button, click on the bell, and know every time I upload. Also, if you have a question, what I'm doing in this video, if I didn't go into enough detail, or any of my other videos, or you got a question about how to do a lighting on one of your kits, or how do you get what's going on with your kit, and and you're at that point, oh, you're ready to just box it up. Hey, any questions, guys, about modeling and about my videos, and you can put it in the comments, or you can email me at bucktmore@gmail.com, and we can get going that way. Also, in the comment section, I take "Hey Buck," okay, "Hey Buck," yeah, or "Buck," all right, maybe, and then there's the head shape. Nothing needs to be said. So yes, put those in the comments, and I respond within 12 to 24 hours. So with that, let's get to the bridge. All right, now back to the bridge. Off camera, I went ahead and put in my screen. I went ahead and rolled up all this as good, as well as I can, because that's where it's going to have to be. Now, what I should have done is bringing these all through the hole instead of trying to do it, but it is what it is. It still works. So, doing that. Also, now I am going to get working on the lighting to go in here, and I've got these guys already, got the clear coat in them, so I'll be able to take care of those soon, get those masked off, and get back. But what I want to show you, this is an LED strip. This is a white LED strip, and what I'm doing is I'm going to get some power to them, and it's not difficult, and I'm going to tell you, the first time I ever ran strip LED is I used to put it into the ship and then tried to solder and wire my way through. Yeah, not doing that anymore. So, okay, wire's already stripped. I know this is positive, that's negative. So the first things first, make sure that's tight, and I'm going to give it a little quick clean. Then I'm going to get it tinned. You always want to get this tinned before you start any of this, and it's not too difficult. I pull my wire around and start getting some there. Hold on, sorry, I waited too long. Or you can do what I normally do, is I go ahead and get this on there, and darn it. Okay, never mind, guys. This is okay. Okay, there we go. Now that I got that done, now this will work better. Okay, make sure it's kind of flatten out, and then all I do is just like that. I just, come on now, sit in. There we go. There we go. And then I'm going to clean my iron again, and I'm going to do the same thing with the negative. Always fun, I tell you. And here we go. Okay, there we go. Alright, so next step I do is I always want to have, don't ever, if you got make sure you got a little bit of extra wire so you can do this. You can come in here and snip it, and you're not trying to fight just getting that little piece soldered down. So the wire is all the way down. Okay. Now I got to test it to make sure it worked. Okay. Turn on my power supply. I love this thing. I really do. I love it a lot. Okay, I'm going to hook up my negative. And I'm going to, so yay, it works. Okay. Now that I know it works, I'm going to go ahead and get it all lovingly twisted up. And yes, I know there's a bit more wire, but I always like to make sure I have enough. I can always trim it and use it elsewhere. So, and these are helping hands. Alright, so that is now done. Now here comes the really fun part. Is I am going to, first I'm going to take backing off. Maybe. Okay, so I know the screen is where it lights up. I want it right about here. And then I have my hot glue gun warming up, or messy up. And then what I'll do is I definitely want to make sure I put hot glue here where I made the connections, because that's going to keep it from shorting out or anything that I don't really want. And then the same thing here. We'll put a little bit more hot glue there, and yay! So there we go. There is that. Now the fun part's going to be when I come to put it in, and because I'm going to run it down this side. Ooh, did I put that on the wrong side? I did. Darn it. Okay, that's alright. I can. That's easy fix. Watch this. I can just do this. I'll pop it up. I'll turn it over and do this again. I thought I had it going the right way, but I guess I didn't. Easy peasy fix there. Okay. I'm going to make sure that's all good and down. Then make sure I get all the spider webs out of here when I go get ready to go and secure it. Not going to do it yet because I want to get the screen dried. But that we could do, we can get through there maybe. If I can find it. There it is. Okay. Alright, come on now. Always the fun of working with the wire. Always have your tweezers handy too. Okay. There we go. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Now I gotta get all that back there. And then trying to make sure everything is in place and all the wires are not okay. Then so yay. And then I'll light it up once I get this secure, because I still have to put some diffusing in it, and I'm going to share that with you guys. But this is where I'm going to be it right now on this, and let everything get good and dry on the screen, because I used the microcrystal clear, and I want to make sure that's set before I do anything. And get this cleaned up a bit, and we'll get started on the other parts of the main viewer area. These guys. Yay! So, alright, let me get things reorganized and I'll be right back. Oh, before I can actually really get into it with you guys, I have had to re-glue and add some because I didn't get enough glue down, I guess. So, hey, that's a good lesson. So, I got two I got to replace. And there's one. And there is two. Okay. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do, because I did, like I said, I got them pretty well down, but what I'm doing now is I'm reinforcing it again. Basically, this is the best way, really, and get these guys in and help keep them strong. So I'm going to go ahead and do the top one, and hopefully I can still get to it. That's the fun time with some of these. You gotta be more patient than they want you to be sometimes. Alright, now I'm going to do the other one. Right there. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to hit it from this side more. Because I don't really want to try to get into all those on the top. So I'm going to go in from the behind and I'll glue it that way if I can get this to go in. Which it's not. Of course not. Because why would you want to do that? Alright, let's try it this way. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. So, again, all I'm doing now is I'm just making sure. I'll go and feel, and I just want to feel if some are loose. If they're loose, I'm going to add more glue. If they're not too loose, you know, but I want to just make sure. So I'm doubling up. Always double up if you can. If it's not doing it right the way you wanted it to go the first time, double up. So, and that's why I got to leave it for right now, because I need it to get dry before I do anything else. So, okay. What now? Alright guys, let me pull some things around and let me see what I can do while these get dry. Alright, well, things are working. I'm working on the consoles on each of the stations. And now I'm going and I'm using flat black, Tamiya flat black, to help isolate what I've already done, the switches and everything. And then when I'm happy with it, I will go in and put a satin clear coat on it. But definitely one thing you want to be able to try to do is I kind of hold it up so I can see and make sure I'm getting everything. And then I'm just try to be very particular, I guess you could say, or deliberate to do this. And I am definitely going to be taking my time, and you don't want to get your brush too heavy because you got a lot of little switches that you can't see on this extra part here, because it also has those very itty bitty buttons, and I'm having to make sure I'm not doing those. And if I do, then I will just go later with my X-Acto blade and do it again. But one of the best ways for me to actually one thing I do first is I try to follow the edges to begin with of the strip, so bottom and top and side, so I can definitely make sure I got that down, and I'm happy with it for now. Then the fun part is getting enough on the brush, and you got to make sure you have a very, very small detailed hand brush like this. And I could use even a smaller, but it is that. But then all I do is I just try to go in as gently as I can in between each one. Now I know it's not going to be on the first time either, so I just want to be as gentle or as easy with the paint as I can, because it would have been nice if these were just, you know, each a little bit separate, not like this. Which is okay. I mean, it is. So there's the start of that one. And then again, like I said, guys, all I'm doing is just going easy. And if you think you got too much paint on your brush, what you can always do is do the bigger areas, the flat areas, like right here on the edge of the console. And you can let that, if you think you got too much, you can let that go right there, so that you can protect it a little bit better and not have all that paint. Oh my god, it ran everywhere. But, and yes, there is a lot of turning this thing to try to make sure I'm getting it the right angle. And as you can see, there's still too much right there. So another good thing is sometimes I will, because as you paint, the paint will start actually drying on the brush, so you got to make sure you're keeping it clean, because this is, like I said, this takes a while, having to do it by hand. But hey, I'm okay with that. I like that. So then again, I'll just keep lifting it up. And I'm sorry if it's too close, guys. I'm just want to make sure you guys can see. So I zoomed out a little bit. And then, like I said, all I do now is I'm going to go on the edge first, so I can get that highlighted, kind of like so. And then, like I said, I just lift it up just a little bit so I can see where else I need to go. And like I said, I'll turn it and play with it so I can actually see it. And there we go. And again, like I said, just a little bit of paint. You don't need a whole lot when doing this kind of stuff. And and if you did get paint on a switch or something, it's okay, guys, because you haven't sealed it yet, so I can come back in a little bit later and I can clear that off, and then I can go back and get it, you know, finished the right, you know, the way I need to. So, and okay, I got you. Okay, well, that's where I'm going to let that one sit for right now, because like I said, this is fun, but this is definitely, it's like, ooh, okay. Alright, so, and then again, for like, you know, this little comm switch here, I definitely kind of got to hold it up because I got to see where the base is at, but I'm not going to make you guys keep watching me do this. I just wanted to share, so I'm going to get back at it, and I'll come back when I get them finished. Well, good morning, and I was going to finish up, hopefully getting most of the view screen done, main viewer, and I went and checked the lighting I did. I thought the 3 would be enough, but it only lights right there. And so I need to fix that. And you're going, well, how do you know that? Alright, well, this is how I check it, because I always check my stuff all the time. And hold on, getting this fixed. Dial it in. Alright, and then I'm going to take the exposure down. Pretty good. Okay. And as you can see right there, that's all it lights up right there. So I'm changing, and it's not a hard fix at all. I just need to add more lighting to it. So I thought this would be good enough, but it isn't right now. So I am going to play around with a couple of things. First, I'm going to get this off very carefully. Okay, don't worry about that. So now I need to see if this one, just these two strips here, these two pieces together, and then I'm going to use fiberfill to diffuse it. And oops, I didn't turn it back up. Sorry, guys. Okay, there we go. Maybe. Alright, and then I'm going to use what's called fiberfill to help diffuse it. It does really great with diffusing, so I want to check that first. But first, I need to get some things wired up, and we'll go check it out when I do. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to wire again. I know I've showed you guys this once already, but I want to show you again. So if you do get LED strip tape that's already got solder on it, it's a good idea anyway, or at least for me, is I like to go and add more, just to give me a little bit more to work with. So again, I'm just getting this all tinned up, and then just adding a little bit more to it. Maybe if this, oh, there we go. Okay, make sure you clean your solder iron off. And now I am going
to put this one on again. Again, I just turn it a little bit, so it gives me a little bit more room to work with. Okay, and again, the same with the negative. Sorry, guys. Okay. And again, now I'll just take my sprue cutters and cut that off. And okay, now as always, got to test to make sure I did it right. So and get the power supply on. Make sure my boots are all there, because sometimes I've actually tried to go like this and I didn't have my alligator clips covered enough, and yeah. Okay, so yes, it does work. Cool. Alright, now what I want to, before I even tack it down or anything, I just want to see if that's going to work a bit better. And again, I gotta move things around, and I'm not putting it fully on there. I'm just wanting to see if it stays in there, how this is going to look, if that's going to help do better or no. Because if it doesn't, then I'm going to have to deal with my other plan. And let's get you on. That's a little bit better, but not much. Not much at all. So that's going to take me to my next plan. Is instead of just running the one like this, I'm going to cut it and run them in two. And I'll save this guy because he's already wired, and I love that, but I need to maybe, oh, okay, there we go. I can do that. And I will take you off for now, and I'll re-glue you down later. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip this and then get these two pieces wired up together, and then we'll check that out. But I don't think you guys want to see me do that all over again. So let me get this fixed up, and I'll turn the camera back on when I'm done. Okay, just did a quick run on that, so yes, it's going to work better. It is going to work. And now I'm going to get this glued down and then get the fiber fill in. And waiting on this dang glue gun to heat up. I should have turned it on when I started this, but hey, that's it. That's okay. So, so now that I'm getting ready to get these guys glued into place, one thing I definitely want to make sure of is I'm going to check and make sure. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. Got some light leaks, but hey, that's really simple to fix. And let me show you how I'm going. I found it. I've got some duct DUCT tape, aluminum tape. I got introduced to this by Lou at Aztec Dummy when he was doing kits that I started watching when I started getting back to build. And this is a great little light block. Works great for quite a few things. But you also, when you do light block, you got to make sure that, because this is foil basically, it doesn't come into contact with any of your connections. So the first thing I'm going to do, now that my glue gun is heated up, is I want to get those connections glued, because then that way it doesn't try to short out. Let that heat up just a little bit more, and then I go and drop it. Okay, get the cobwebs out of the way. Alright, here comes you again. And I have to put another stick in, but not yet. Got just enough. Okay. And then I'll push down on it just to make sure they're doing okay. And they're nice and tight. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this bit of tape through here, and block those that, you know, because of all the work I did with it, taking the paint off, the light block. And I really don't want to have to wait for paint to dry again. So, pretty simple. And I say simple and then I try to do it. Yeah. Actually, it doesn't matter if it's on the wire. That'll help that. And keep the wire secured. Just like so. And then, just to make sure, power supply on. Turn you down to 12. And one more little quick test. Sorry if this blinds you out, guys. I don't mean to. Yay, and it works. Which I knew it would, but okay. So now I am going to get these guys put together, but first I need to make sure that I get the cable in, got all the little gluey spider webs out, because like I said, I'm also going to do fiber fill. And before I do that, I want to make sure I get this guy, the wiring through, because if I don't, and fiber fill is fun stuff to work with sometimes, but it also can be a really big pain in the behind. And just so this doesn't get stuck, trim those off, and get you through, maybe. Okay. Yay! Alright. Now comes the fun part, is taking the fiber fill. If you don't know what fiber fill is, it's the stuff in teddy bears and stuff down, but I use it for smoke effects and diffusion. Diffuse the lighting more. And like I said, you guys got to be very kind of careful with, well, not careful, but trust me, this stuff, it likes to play around, and sometimes it can be more of a pain to work with than what you would think. So actually, I want to do one thing first. I want to see how bad it spots out, and I'll show you what I mean before I do that. And what I mean by, I don't want to see white hot spots where the LEDs, where the bulbs are. That's what I'm looking for, to see if there's any hot spot that I need to diffuse. And get you off. Okay, get you off. And I'll do this so you guys can see too while I'm doing it. And okay. So it's actually not too bad, but it's not bad. Not really. Let me turn my overhead off. Sorry, guys. Just trying to look at that a little bit more. Actually, that's not bad at all. Yeah, it's still going to do a little diffusing. I want to play around with it real quick, guys. And then, once I figure a spot that I'm actually really happy with, then I will definitely get the camera back on so I can share that with you guys. So let me work with it just a second, and I'll be back. Okay, so I am going to diffuse. It does work better, but I'm going to do a little trick real first to work with this easier. I'm going to go and just turn on my exhaust fan, and I'm going to hit this with some hairspray. Now what this is going to do is going to make it easier to work with, and I will share that with you guys when it's there. So I'm going to go get this. I'm going to move the main viewer over here. I'm going to go get this taken care of, and while it's getting good, while it's starting to dry and all that, I'll keep working on painting the consoles. So I will be back. Alright, while that's drying, I thought we'd start working on getting some of these things trimmed up. I don't, there's just a few there, I don't know. But I'm not gonna trim them flat yet. Okay, I definitely don't want to do that. I gotta repaint this yet again, but that's okay. The fun of working. So basically, I just go with my snips and I just start trimming it up. And by that I mean I just, as you can see, I'm just, and I probably could have done this with, made them shorter, but when I went to go put it in, but that's okay because now I can work with it a little bit easier and I got a lot more room to work with, because like you saw yesterday, some of these all were not glued in. So that's what I'm doing. And just take your time again, guys. You know, just find a spot you want to start and just kind of start going at it. The fun of lighting kits up. Alright guys, well I'm going to keep trimming on these, and when I go to start on the back I will turn the camera back on so you guys can see. There's a different process for the back. The front's pretty much straightforward. Just trim them down, make it a little bit more easier to work with when you're doing things, and then we can go from there. So, alright guys, well I'm going to get this all trimmed up, and I'll turn it back on when I'm ready to start on the back. So, I know not much fun yet, but it's getting there, I promise. It's coming. Alright, gotta change things up a little bit. Still trimming the fiber optics, but I found as I started trimming the top on the other panel, a lot were starting to fall through. Not a lot, but a few. So, the first thing I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do the back, because that way I can actually kind of get these guys where I want them anyway, but then I can make sure there's enough glue to hold them down. That's why I'm doing it this way first, so I can make sure if there's not, then as I keep trimming I can get back to getting more of the glue. And if they're really close, sometimes you don't have to do it all right there. You can come back as you start getting these pieces down. And so, alright, so I'm going to keep plugging away at this, and then I'll come back and share more, guys. Alright. Okay. I hairsprayed the filament, like I said, and now it makes it a little bit easier to work with, because before, you know, you're trying to, and this is going everywhere. So the hairspray definitely works. And just a heads up, guys, you can do the best you can and try not to get any, you know, get the strands on the outside, but trust me, that will happen. So now the fun part comes of getting this secured to the back and keeping the filament in, right guys? Alright, so keep working that. Now normally I would just like to glue the sides of this thing, and keep working this down, because the problem is right here, if I try to get it all glued up, I'm going to have all those strands, and I really don't, I can clean them up, don't worry about that, that's going to be easy. So I am going to, alright, let's see if we can do this. Just trying to get it all roughed up, pull out the stringers, and I'm just using my CA, and I'm running a nice line down the sides. So, and I can actually add more later if I need to. And now, just going to get this going here, get you pulled through, and maybe, come on now, there we go. Alright, come on, there we go. Yeah, like I said, there's going to be strands on the outside, but I can clean those up with my X-Acto knife. Sorry guys, going a little crazy there. But that's going to happen. So now, what I'm going to do, hopefully, is I'm going to put my clamp on there to help keep it down. Okay. Get me another one here, so I can do the same thing to the bottom. Bottom will be easier because I have that nice thing I can grab onto. And if it doesn't want to stay all the way down, because like I said, this will be easy to fix, these seams from it, because then I will be able to use my putty and stuff. But okay, gonna let that get dry and then we will do it again, test the lighting. And as you can see, the craziness of fiber. Okay, so now, well, that's done. And as I started trimming these guys on the back side, a lot more started falling through, so I've gone through and re-glued so I can hopefully get taken care of that too today. But for now, I guess I'm going to go back to painting these guys. Yay! So, and like I said again, it's just I'm using flat black to go over all of it, and then, well, get between all the switches, and then if I accidentally paint over some of it, then I can clean that off. So, alright guys, I was hoping to have more to show, but screen's drying, the walls are being a pain, the fiber optics, it's all good guys. Alright, well I'm going to get back at this, so I'll come back when I have more to share. Alright, it's dried and getting there, and I'll show you the back first. So yes, I do have some to take off, do have some putty work I need to do, but that is on. And I've already cut the lead wires down from the from the strobe, or the chaser lights I did, and because I want to reduce the footprint of the wire, so, and the screen will be able to, I can power it both through just one line. So strip, maybe, so get it stripped and get this one stripped. Maybe. Sometimes trying to get these things is like, oh, come on, seriously, really? Why aren't you? Sorry. Alright. And I guess take you off. Okay. Now, I am definitely going to grab my, my insulator. My shrink tubing, because I'm going to do it to both. So I want to make sure I have enough to do that. So one thing I want to do first is, again, I want to try to get this all cleaned up nice. Huh. Interesting. That does happen. But it's okay. Alright. Okay. Now, just going to get these guys twisted here. Oh, yeah, because I'm going to insulate it. I need to, sorry guys. Make sure you get your shrink tubing on first, your insulation. Shrink tubing. And I'll do it on the longer on this side. So, again, just going to go here. And the negative. Maybe. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that happens too. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Okay, so got everything ready to go. I've taken the insulator off because I forgot that, yes, I have to run the power. So the first thing I want to do is get them twisted. Then actually, I might need to take you down a little bit. Kind of got a thing where like evenness, so it's a lot easier when I'm trying to group and bundle things once I get everything done, if they're almost all the same kind of length. Alright, so now first thing I'm going to do is I got my solder gun all heated up. Tin it again. I'm going to tin it. And unlike the LED strip tape, this works pretty cool like this. So okay, cleaned off. Now I'm not gonna use a great bit of that of the extensions that I got off the chaser lights. I'm gonna go back to my 30 WAG and now I am going to get these guys put together. Maybe. Okay. And as I'm starting to put things together, I will try to finish one wire before the other, so I'm not trying to play around or I don't hit it or so. Okay, that one's good. And now for the positive. Okay. See what happened? Ding ding. Alright. Let's start. Oh, sometimes I really hate these things. Okay. I am going. Oh, see what I'm saying? I don't want it to bend too much or anything. I just want it to be in the right, kind of place. So, and the reason why you're seeing their Evans Designs wire break, like that when I use a stripper or anything, it's because it's a solid core, and any scratch or like what I was doing with this, just to cut the insulation on the outside, that can create more issues because it's basically scored it. So now any more little bit of work or any harder little bit of work like twisting and doing that, because it's been scored, it might break, and as you saw twice it did. So okay, now let's see, let's get you okay. Yay, those are down now. Alright, now the next thing I do when I'm doing wiring like this, when I'm having to do, when I'm putting two things together, I will also come back to what I just soldered and I will trim it down. Basically, all I'm doing is trimming off the extra and making it smaller, but I'm also getting rid of that stuff. Because, trust me, that comes a pain in the butt. So now the next thing I do before I insulate, before I put my shrink tubing on, is I'm going to power it up once again and make sure everything's still working. So, and there we go. Yay! Alright, let me turn the lights down and I'll show you guys real quick. After I solder this, I'll turn the lights down, and not solder, but put the heat shrink on and go from there. So give me just a second, guys, and I'll do that real quick. But I heard Gabriella barking, so I gotta go check on that. Okay, guess it wasn't nothing. Car door shut. She gets very excited when people are shutting their doors, and it kind of gets a little bit annoying because, oh my gosh. And I keep trying to tell her, you don't have to bark at our neighbors and our friends. They're just coming home. But, alright, back to this. So, now I got my shrink tubing on. I will, with the stuff, I get this stuff from HDX Model Works, this shrink tubing. I really do like it. For a long time I used stuff from Home Depot, but this stuff works even better, and I attest to that. I like their stuff very much. I get yards of it, and big time. But What great thing with theirs is you don't really have to hold the flame right up there. You definitely just want to move it back and forth. And as you can see, if it didn't, you can turn it around and just do that, and you'll see how it tightened everything up. Let's see if I can do this again with the negative for you guys. So, okay. And the reason I'm doing both is just because I used to not, and I only used to hot glue the negative, but yeah, no. I mean, I like hot gluing things, but I'm definitely one that doesn't like to see exposed wiring now. That's kicked my butt too before, because I've thought, oh, hey, everything's working, I go to move the kit, and then all of a sudden nothing is wanting to work because it's grounded out. Yeah, but again, I just run my lighter, just like that, and there we go. So, yay! Alright, that is now done. Alright, let me pause for a minute and get the lights turned down, and then I'll turn the camera back on, guys. Okay, here we go. So, positive. Yay, maybe. Okay, and negative. Come on now. See? That's what I'm talking about. You never know. Got power. Alright guys, give me a second. I gotta see what's going on here. Okay, just not enough of a good connection when I put my power thing on. But yay, look at that. I really like that. Yes, now I do got to take care of some of the things around the screen, but I am liking it. Let me see if I can get a little closer so it doesn't short out. Yay! Alright! Well, just except for some touch-up, I can actually, yes, main viewer is now pretty well done. I mean, except for touch-up paint, but yes, now that this is all pretty. And the other thing I do, guys, is I always try to twist up. Now, I know I'm not going to use all of this, but it's better, and I've said it in a lot of videos, it's better to have too much than, oh my gosh, I didn't do enough. So, alright, so, yay! And still working on these. Show you here. Like I said, it's just flat black. Let me turn on my light, and I could show you, I kind of already showed you a bit, guys, but yeah, you don't want to see me just watch me painting black, right? Alright, let's see if I can do this where you guys can see. Let me try it again. Okay, I'm going to turn that down. I'm going to put some of that lovely diffusing right there. And then turn you off, and let's bring you in a little bit closer. And let it focus. You gonna focus? There we go. So there's still a lot of work to do, as you can see, but it's starting to get there. This is the phase where it's like, ah! But hey, it's okay. So, yay. Sorry about that, guys. Let everything come back up. So, yay. So, I'm going to keep working on these guys. I'm still letting the panels beside the main viewer get that glue really good and dry, because I've had to go and do it again. And when I cut these down, it made it a lot easier to get it in there. So, they're starting to feel pretty good. So, go there. And I'm trying not to drop things, sorry. But, I'm going to try to get these guys finished up and then start working on those, because I really would like to some point just put a station on together, somewhat, most of the way together, and let these guys sing for themselves on the station. So, but yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So I'm going to get back to these guys, and I'll turn the camera on when I get going on to something else. So see you soon. Okay, round one of painting is done for these guys. I'm going to let it sit, get all good and dry, and then I'm going to go back and touch up again, because, yeah, there's definitely some work that's got to get done. But getting there. So, yes, I'm happy with that. So, let me get things cleaned up here, and let's see what I can get going on next. Alright, the other one now is dry to a point. So I'm going to go ahead and go from the back this time. And basically, it's, again, just, you're going to have to actually do what feels right to you for size. I'm going to start a little bit bigger. Then as I get more, I can start trimming them down when I get certain ones out of the way. Like that. But like I said, I'm not going to get it to that point yet because I want to be able to slowly come in and bring them down, because there's a lot of things that do get in the way, and even when you're doing some of that, that might be starting what's pushing it down or doesn't let you know that it's all the way secure. And just like that, I just keep going until I get them where I want, and then I'll go back. And I'm sorry if it's because this is light, and hopefully you can see. Let's see, I'm going to go down here first. And again, like I said, I'm just taking a bit off. I want to see what I got. And don't be afraid, you're going to have to keep moving from time to time. And if there is still any loose ones at this point, I can get more glue down and get them more secure like that too. So, and then I kind of just press where I've clipped just to make sure. So, yay, right? And then make sure you always got an eye on what you're doing, because if you don't, you might trim out too much. So always make sure you got where you want it to be, because if you don't and you cut too much, then yeah, I've done that too, guys. I have done that more than once. I thought I had it online, and no, I didn't. So, and don't worry, those all get picked up. Always do. I clean this studio a lot, but as you can see, now it's starting to really come together better. And then you get spots like this one that's kind of attached to itself because of the glue. You can come in with your tweezers and slowly, and start pulling them apart. Or you take your X-Acto and try to get in there and just cut that glue down a little bit, so you can separate them all, like so. Yay! And then that's how I get those separated if there's like too many big ones, or all stuck together. And then the same thing with the big one here. And then I'll come here. And here. Now I'll test it again. And then I see if I got to move some things out of the way. Again, I do. Just kind of like that. And I'll keep working on that. So yeah. And that's a good way to get these started, and then I'll start working on the front ones later. But just going to keep sharing, just making, as you can see, some still drop. So always make sure you have a ready supply filament. Fiber optics ready. And just do this all over again. And glue. And just a toothpick. And then, like I said, again, I just kind of want to make sure it's good. Not crazy good, good, but not too much like that. Then I just go in here again, and I will put you right there. And this time I'll just push this one all the way down, and I'll take care of it later. So now it's getting glued. So, yay! But what also I need to start doing is working on getting light boxes built. If I want to do all this, I mean, all the things of getting these things cut and ready to go, but the one thing I have thought about it and I haven't done is to do light boxes. And let me get stuff around and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, well, this is where I'm going to shut it down so I can get the video together, because it's been a couple weeks since you guys got to see the bridge. So I need to get this up. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm really happy getting the view screen, everything together, and getting it all lit. Yay! So just making sure. Yeah, still a lot of work to do on that side, but on it still. But hey, there is light. There is fun. There is awesomeness. And then the fun of me trying to get the fiber optics and having to reglue and refix, but that's part of it. Excuse me, sorry. And then getting the paint started, getting the console stations actually painted up and getting ready to go so I can get those built. And then, like you guys just saw, me trying to figure out the light boxes. And when I come back with that, I'll have it figured out. I'll have the plan together so you guys will not have to watch me trying to figure it out, make the plan. Like, okay, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me go through that process again. I am sorry. Please apologize, but not bad. I like it's a lot of fun. I really do. So with that, you guys have a awesome, safe, and great rest of your weekend. Have a great, awesome, safe work week next week, and I'll see you guys back here on the bench.